Up next on Eco Company.
Eco-friendly guitars?
We were taking one block of wood and we would cut 2 necks out of that block of wood, and now we're able to get 3 necks out of the same size block of wood.
What some guitar makers are doing to preserve natural resources and eliminate waste.
Then get ready to roll on a bike made of bamboo.
The idea of a bamboo bike is sometimes a little misleading, but when you actually see one, it's quite different.
Eco-transportation that's made sustainably.
Plus, sustainability on the farm. A flower farm.
What it means is pretty much everything inside this building, with a few exceptions, was from old recycled material.
We visit a nursery that puts the green into the word greenhouse.
And dining out green.
All of our disposables are compostable and biodegradable.
Dining out is not just about the food on your plate.
All that and more coming up
On Eco Company.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into Eco Company. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Josh. We all hear a lot about eco-friendly products nowadays, right?
Today we learn how products are made sustainably, including eco-friendly guitars.
Yup, we learned that some guitars are made with the planet in mind.
Adam visits one guitar maker to find out how.
We hear a lot about organics and sustainable products every day, but here's one you might not have thought of before. Guitars. Let's go see how they make them.
Welcome to Taylor Guitars in El Cajon, California. Acoustic and electric guitars line the walls in every color of the rainbow. But underneath it all, they're all green. We're talking green as in eco-friendly.
We've written a responsible timber policy here at Taylor Guitars, and we also have a floor policy which addresses the forest floor and how we will continue to sustain that environment for the villages and work with them to continue that process.
Whether it's getting the wood from forests in Central America or making masterpieces back at the shop, these guitars were made with a thought for the planet every step of the way.
The top is 2 pieces, and it's considered a book-match top.
Chris Wellens has spent nearly 20 years here.
My first job was actually working in the milling department, cutting various pieces of wood for the guitars.
Now he's VP of manufacturing, and he's giving us a factory tour.
So what we've done with this chunk of wood is we've cut it and removed it from this end. We've milled it to a smaller size. This is where the 3 heels of the neck will come from.
Guitar manufacturing has come a long way. New technology and better design help save resources.
We were taking one block of wood and we would cut 2 necks out of that block of wood. Through this process of the NT, or new technology neck, we increased our yield by 33%, and now we're able to get 3 necks out of the same size block of wood. That's made a huge impact on not only the yield and the wood usage, but also the sustainability at the forest level.
It all starts with the source, and that's tone wood. That is, wood used to make musical instruments.
Woods are available. It's our responsibility to procure those woods legally and do it responsibly.
Taylor sources much of its wood from Central America.
So this is an example of the mahogany lumber that we procure from Central America. It comes to us in this rough form. It's kiln dried, and what we do here at Taylor Guitars is take this lumber, mill it down to a smaller size 4x4 square lumber, smooth on each side, and then we'll actually resaw this into the 3 pieces of the neckwood that we saw on that guitar earlier.
Mahogany is widely popular around the world, but it's been over-harvested through the years, so some varieties are commercially extinct. Taylor is using other methods to obtain it.
Yes, it's actually started with us using dead mahogany trees and seeing if we could remove those from the forest and utilize them for a source of neckwood, along with a variety of other parts that go inside the guitar.
Guitar makers know it's vital to sustain their main resource, so Taylor and 3 other manufacturers are all part of the Greenpeace Music Wood Coalition. Its goal is to change logging practices.
The purpose of the Music Wood Coalition is to actually go to the forest and see it. One thing that many of us don't know is they'll go in and clear cut an entire forest trying to get specific trees, and what they're doing is cutting down everything in the process. What we're looking to do is get Sitka spruce out of the forest and let other trees grow.
Helping villages sustain their economies is also a priority.
We are paying the villages specifically for their work and their value-added work versus paying a third, fourth, and fifth party where one vendor or one corporation would go onto the ground, clear cut the entire area, and then produce parts or pieces out of that lumber and then sell it all over the world.
Back in the factory, it's showtime. They use precise lasers and efficient design to get the most out of every piece of lumber.
They take this portion here and they cut multiple truss rod covers out of it, which is used to cover the truss rod opening on the peg head of the guitar.
Okay.
Whereas in years past, this would have just ended up being thrown away.
And check this out.
Utilizing the laser, we've increased our yield because look at the laser line here. It's very small, and we're not just throwing wood away with every pass of the cut of a table saw. We're able to utilize this entire piece and get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 pieces out of this versus more than likely 6 if we cut this on a table saw.
Tracking where wood is sourced from is also an important part of the process.
What they're doing is working on barcoding all the lumber, actually taking photographs of the tree that they're cutting and barcoding each stick or each log or piece of lumber coming from that tree and then coding it and tracking it up for us so we can actually track that barcode back to the tree that it was cut from.
So from sourcing sustainable wood and helping villages to reducing waste and recycling, Taylor's giving new meaning to what it means to be a guitar hero.
This mahogany guitar sounds great. And who would have known that it's made sustainably too?
Something to think about next time you're strumming a tune.
Thank you very much.
Guitars made by harvesting wood sustainably? What's next?
How about bicycles?
What would a sustainable bike look like?
Brendan visited one bike maker to get a close-up look.
You know, hopping onto a bike is a great way to help the environment. And if you really want to kick your carbon footprint to the curb, try riding one of these. This isn't your average bike. Look closely and you'll see it's special because this stuff is bamboo. You know, when I first thought of bamboo bikes, I was thinking some Gilligan's Island or some person who's deserted makes their own bike and tree house. But this looks like a substantial, real bike frame right here.
Oh yeah, it's the idea of a bamboo bike is sometimes a little misleading, but when you actually see one, it's quite different.
We'll say, just take a look around Craig Colfie's shop.
This one's made for racing, and it's great for recreational riding as well.
So for racing, it's obviously very light.
It's fairly light. Yeah, you can lift it up and check out how heavy it is.
Wow. Racing bikes, mountain bikes, even one built for two. All the frames you see here are made out of bamboo instead of carbon fiber.
So here's our bamboo bicycle tube selection.
Bamboo's good for the environment for a bunch of reasons. First, bamboo releases more oxygen into the air than trees.
Bamboo is a great carbon sequestration method as well as a very renewable resource.
Bamboo is the fastest growing plant on the entire Earth. Some species can grow up to 4 feet in just 24 hours. I mean, it took me 16 years to grow up to 5'8", and it takes these things less than 2 days. Calfee uses bamboo that's grown and harvested responsibly. And get this, instead of hardening it with chemicals, it's smoked and treated with heat. This smells like, I don't know, barbecue ribs or something. What's going on here?
Yeah, this is our smoked bamboo. This has been put in a smokehouse for 2 weeks, and it preserves the bamboo as well as gives it that nice dark color. And when we're working with the bamboo, yeah, it smells like a barbecue.
Once the bamboo's cut and ready, it's assembly time. That's when the frame is bound together by hemp fiber.
It's all natural. It's a better fit.
And here's another beauty. It was made in Africa, thanks to a project called Bamboo Sero. They're building bikes there to sell here in the US.
I noticed in Africa from traveling there back in the early 80s that they have a lot of bamboo. They use bikes for a lot of things, and they need jobs. So our first shipment of frames came in from Ghana last week, and we're just putting parts on them now. This is one of the frames that we're building up and we'll be test riding. This one has some of the first bamboo that we harvested. We selected it for strength and for testing. This has been treated with a non-toxic preservative so it won't split. And this one is designed with an integrated rack for carrying cargo or even passengers.
Oh boy. It can support 300 pounds. So I volunteered to hop on for a spin to test it out.
Demonstrations of strength on the bike are one of our most fun activities.
As you can see, Calfee would love to see more people get on bamboo bikes. In the driver's seat, or not.
Pretty fun, a little scary, but you know, look, Ma, no hands.
It'd be great to have more people riding bikes and not so many driving cars. And of course, if they were bamboo bikes, that'd be even better.
Don't try that at home, and remember your helmet. Coming up, millions of beautiful flowers.
Favorite part of my job is that the scenery, you can't beat the scenery.
We're visiting a nursery that puts the green in the word greenhouse.
Then, heading out to eat.
Hey guys, look what I found. It's an organic sausage joint. Let's go check it out.
What some restaurants are doing to go green. More Eco Company is next.
Ever wonder how the word greenhouse got its name? Well, you won't after we visit one nursery that's taking growing green seriously.
Jelena takes us to Rocket Farms, a place where growing flowers is about more than just beauty.
We all love the beauty of flowers, but have you ever stopped to think about all of the resources and energy that goes into growing them? We visited one farm that's doing a lot to reduce their carbon footprint.
Flowers and greenery everywhere you look.
Just of the orchids, 3 million plants a year. But then we also grow other things like poinsettias. We do a couple million poinsettias a year, and then herbs. We do a lot of basil, organic basil.
It's all eye candy for Vice President Mark Clark and head grower Kyle Harmon at Rocket Farms.
Favorite part of my job is that the scenery, you can't beat the scenery.
This is Rocket Farms Nursery in Salinas, California. Just one of many for the third largest nursery in the U.S. And with such a big operation, Clark says sustainability is a no-brainer.
For us, it's just a natural because really, we're really a bunch of farmers.
At Rocket Farms, the greenhouses really are, well, green.
I understand that there's a lot of recycled materials that went into building this. What exactly does that mean or look like?
Okay, what it means is pretty much everything inside this building, with a few exceptions, was from old recycled material that we used when we tore down other greenhouses.
We buy recycled glass from other greenhouses to replace the roof on this house. Many of our orchid houses are about 95% recycled.
You see these pipes here that are vertical? The entire skeletal structure of a greenhouse is all used with recycled materials.
Oh, it looks so shiny and new.
I know it does, but if you look at it, it's actually really old pipe.
As for these,
those are all recycled, used from another greenhouse. So when we tore that down, we ended up saving the fans, and then we were able to use them all in here.
they're also saving energy in ways you might not think about.
Many of our houses also have heat curtains. We use double heat curtains to retain as much heat in the wintertime and as much cooling in the summertime.
And these hand-built moving benches do the trick too.
We can actually get more plants per the same amount of area, which means that in terms of our energy usage, we're using less energy over more plants. So it's just less per unit, so it's a better way to go.
They don't stop at greener building. It's how they grow things too.
We reuse a lot of our soil. We take it and we put it in a big pile, and then we use excess steam from the boiler that otherwise would just be vented to the outside, and every night we take and we re-steam that soil and then we reuse it.
They also recycle between 20 and 40 tons of cardboard and plastic every month.
When we start, pots, things we use come in a lot of cardboard. All our cardboard is recycled. We use a lot of cardboard for our orchid packing. Everything here is recycled. All our plastic pots are recycled.
Saving water is also a major goal.
As you see is here we do a lot of it on drips, so we use minimized irrigation so you get exact to the plant water so you don't have any runoff.
Moss, sustainably harvested off the forest floor, also gets props around here.
One of the things that the moss does is it allows us to use a tremendously small amount of water. You only have to water them between 20 to 25 days if you grow in this moss.
There's also something else going on here.
And then the other thing that we do is we take little seeds from the farmers and we transplant those into trays and we grow small plants that get transplanted out into the fields.
There's something green about that, too.
When you grow them in a greenhouse, you're going to use a lot less energy and a lot less water and pesticides to grow them to young plants controlled in the greenhouse than you would if you planted them in the field. So if you plant a plant out in the field, you've got to water it a lot, and most of that water just goes to evaporation or gets lost.
So, from planting seedlings to growing orchids, poinsettias, and more, Rocket Farms is doing things the best way it knows how, sustainably.
Coming up, a solar-powered pizzeria.
It was $1,000 a month for electricity, and now it's $7 a month.
Restaurants going green. More eco company is still ahead. We all eat out sometimes, right? Well, you could be helping the planet without even knowing it.
Brendan and Jessica are checking out what some restaurants are doing to go green.
Walk inside this pizza place, and it may look like any other. Until you look up here.
You know, as far as I know, we are the only solar-powered pizza in the United States, maybe the world.
Bob Valentino is the owner of Stefano's Pizza, and his pizza joint is sitting under 26.5 kilowatts of solar power. So the pizza going in here is being powered by what's happening on the roof.
And it provides the power for all of the electricity that we use in the pizza restaurant. The system is totally quiet. There are no greenhouse gas emissions. It really takes care of itself pretty much.
Valentino says saving energy means saving some dough too.
It was $1,000 a month for electricity, and now it's $7 a month. And so our electric bill is essentially $0 a year.
He says it's important the businesses do their part to reduce energy use.
They should be aware of anything that is going to have a negative impact on the environment.
And that's how things slice up here.
Hey guys, look what I found. It's an organic sausage joint. Let's go check it out. When it comes to making hot dogs, this place is getting it right. Riza Punzalan and Max Leong are behind Underdog. So how'd you come up with this idea?
Well, basically, this was the kind of place I've always wanted to eat at, you know, affordable, organic comfort food, you know, and there wasn't any place like this in my neighborhood, so I decided to open my own.
It's not just about organic sausages here. They're doing a whole lot more to be green.
All of our disposables are compostable and biodegradable. We use high-efficiency lighting in here. We've put a lot of thought into every detail to try to be as responsible as possible.
We'll say, check out the organic toppings. Of course they recycle and compost too. Enough business. It's time for me to try one.
Oh, you guys are missing out. This is delicious.
Now that's what I call one top dog.
Smaller restaurants aren't just going green. Big restaurants are doing it too. Take Dosa, a South Indian restaurant in San Francisco owned by Anjan Mitra and his wife.
Restaurants can waste a lot if they're not careful. You know, they do consume a lot of energy, they consume a lot of food.
It's about a lot more than serving organic fare here. It was built green from the floor up.
The tiles were built at this location where there was no waste. You know, everything was recycled. All the water that was used was recycled. This is actually bamboo. You know, so this is sustainable wood. You know, coconut palm over here. These are all green materials, and you know, they are more expensive, but they're actually very beautiful, we think.
Check out the recycled countertops.
It's all built on site, and it's, you know, it's from glass and shells and things like that. The bar front, the seats, the wood that we use, everything is using recycled or materials that have been created with greener practices.
In the kitchen, it's about being energy efficient as they cook.
Just the way the restaurant runs, you know, the water you consume, the energy you consume, how efficient you are with that energy.
Plus, check this out. They don't serve bottled water, and that goes for carbonated too.
This was the responsible thing to do. To be green, you know, you really have to do it within your own realm.
It just goes to show that restaurants, big and small, can all take steps to reduce their carbon footprint. And that means we can reduce ours too.
Well, that wraps up another episode of Eco Company. Thanks for watching.
For more information on these stories or to give us your feedback, check out our website at eco-company.tv.
And remember that you too can be a part of the solution. We'll see you next time
on Eco Company.